Hello, folks. Good to see you again. Glad you're tuning in. This is Shaft, and today we're going to be looking at a best of three. It's going to be Zerg vs. Zerg, and I think everyone's going to be really happy about these games, to be honest with you. The reason I'm so confident about that, actually, is based on who the players are. So, without any further ado, let's go ahead and discuss exactly who these players are and what makes them all so awesome and special. Okay, so what we're looking at here is going to be a game on Ohana first, and well, I guess we should just go ahead and start this replay up. Here on the top left-hand side, we have a player representing the team TSL, the SCV Life. Of course, that is no longer. This was actually after the dismemberment. So technically now, we're looking at the Red Zerg player, Evil Genius's Revival. And his opponent in the Blue Zerg chunks on the bottom right. Also formerly from TSL, currently teamless, it is the the online legend, HyuN. Alright, so we're just looking at a fairly standard game so far. Both players going ahead and rocking out that Overlord we all love to see so much. That does mean we won't have to worry about any kind of shenaniganry as far as 10 pulls or whatnot are concerned. Again, neither player showing a hatchery or a pull just yet, both sitting on 13 supply. So, yeah, looking like it's going to turn out to be a fairly macro-intensive game. Both players kind of pushing their economy to the extreme. Just for anyone who's not very familiar with Zerg vs. Zerg, really there's three possible build orders that you can see out of players. Right now, HyuN going for a 15 pull. Generally speaking, it's fast hatch, it's pull, or pull on 15, which is what HyuN is showing us. Fast hatch, of course, being what Revival is showing us now. Or, the 9 pull. 9 pull, of course, will beat a fast hatch. Fast hatch is usually slightly more economic than pull first, and pull first, of course, is really, really safe against an early pull. So right now, the economies are looking very, very similar, because once this pull is up, HyuN will get a slightly faster queen than Revival, whose pull is much, much later. Just compare, 275 or so right now to a completed spawning pull. That's about 60 seconds faster of a queen. We're also getting a quicker gas here from Revival. So, yeah, that kind of delays the queen even more so, but it will give Revival a little bit of map presence, because he'll be able to get speed up quicker than his opponent, which means, the Zelnaga towers will be his. He'll be freer to drone, because he'll see anything coming way before it gets there. No real surprises in a Zerg vs. Zerg to whoever has control of these towers, but of course, Overlords equalize that to a fair extent until Mutas or Hydras come out on the map. And, yeah, both players just sitting on these expansions, both players grabbing their queens, and everything's panning out to a very, very macro-intensive game. Here's that faster speed we were talking about from Revival. And hey, yeah, just very, very standard play. HyuN, of course, loving aggression, so it's really interesting to see him not going for any kind of gas, just really getting his economy to that tip-top shape. Let's actually take a look at that income. Both players are sitting on 21 harvesters even, but again, Revival mining a little gas. That sets his mineral count a little bit behind. Excuse me, guys, just getting over a flu. I know if you've been paying attention to the news, everybody's got it. Well, here's a baneling nest now for Revival. Again, with his earlier gas, it's very, very common to see him getting the earlier baneling nest as well. He may even be reverting into a timing attack of some sort, just put a little pressure on HyuN. HyuN, of course, getting 2 extractors of his own, so he should equalize that gas income fairly quickly. Only 2 mining here on Revival's gases, just adding a third as his Baneling nest finishes. And here is a Baneling morphing at the Xel'Naga Tower. Of course, this Overlord will scout that, so Revival's going to have to keep this timing fairly small, only morphing in 5 Banelings, and not too many Zerglings to follow it up. This is really just light harassment, forcing HyuN to have these queens up front, and making some tech here at the front as well. Very wise of him to go ahead and pull these Baneling back. He hasn't really lost anything due to this timing attack, except the potential income that he could have got instead of making these units. We do see a lair coming now for HyuN, who is also working on that Roach Warren at the front of this natural. That it is kind of suggestive that he'll be going that Roach Hydra Infester style. We see so often, but Revival, of course, taking a third base, as it does take a little bit of time to gear up into, speed roaches and hydras and all that good jazz, so he can feel fairly safe taking this quicker third, especially with the map control he's exerting. There's the +1 ranged coming now for HyuN. Alright, and it looks like Revival is going to be switching into roaches of his own now that he's got the better economy established. This is great. As long as he makes exactly the same units as his opponent, he will have more, and that means all he has to do is stay even on upgrades, which he's working on now with this evolution chamber, and he'll be in a great spot here against his opponent, the Blue Terror, HyuN. Going ahead and knocking down these destructible rocks. I do like that play. I'm not sure why Revival's keeping his up, except maybe to protect from some kind of run-by, but any run-by, of course, is going to take out this hatchery as well, so he'd want to be able to defend that. Going ahead and Maynarding over a couple of drones, get the queen going over there. Great stuff here by Revival. And here's the +1/+1 coming for both players. Slightly slower there for Revival, but again, all he's got to do is do everything his opponent does, just a little bit slower and with a better economy, and life's going to be good for him. Unfortunately, HyuN has got this interesting little creep highway with overlords, and that's allowing him to bring queens into the mix as well, and that's actually going to really mess up Revival's world here. All he's really got are the roaches and banelings, and far superior roach numbers here for HyuN, with queens as support for transfuse. Oh my gosh, is this minor little timing attack going to be enough to reset Revival's drone count? If he can kill just a couple more workers here, he can make this timing attack very, very cost effective. 8 workers, 9 workers, 10 workers, 14, 16. Oh my god, Revival! Why did you send your drone so far out? Had he fought up here, he would have had a much, much better chance. But going down that ramp was pure suicide. He gave up a great position, quicker reinforced distance, for basically no advantage except to sacrifice his drones. Oh my god, what is this income count? Already HyuN is up 10 harvesters just by sending 3 queens across the map with a very standard roach timing. He had no idea whether his opponent was going for Spire Tech or not, and this roach attack would have destroyed Spire Tech. In fact, I'm absolutely sure that's what it was designed to do. He had no idea his opponent was going pure roach, but wouldn't be able to handle this. Even contaminating a hatchery so it cannot produce any more larvae. Revival dropping the GG. HyuN definitely deserving that win. Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay, and just judging by the players leaving these games, it does look like this was probably a Zotac tournament of some sort, as Ursadon and Donna are in the game here, so that kind of clears that up. I was wondering, if this was just a friendly little match between 2 players from the same team, or formerly from the same team, or if there was a darker purpose. Of course, it was just the Zotac. Great guys over there. Definitely a tournament worth checking out. Done a little bit of casting for them. Always, always, always a good show to be put on over there. Delicious. Cold cola. So good. So good. Alrighty, so we will be moving on now into game number 2 between these two players. This one is going to be on Whirlwind. Not a big fan of this map, but for ZVZ, you know, any mirror match really, I suppose it's not too terribly bad. A little bit of rotational symmetry going on as far as positions are concerned. No biggie, no biggie. HyuN is going to be chilling in the red trunks over here on the bottom left-hand corner of the map, and his opponent will be in the teal trunks on the bottom right. This is, of course, Evil Genius's Revival. So basically, this is game number 2, and Revival, of course, has just lost a game he was definitely ahead in, just by having a couple of queens sent across the map. So I definitely expect him to be a little bit more on his toes here. He knows HyuN's reputation. Oh, and he's actually dropping a 13 gas. Interesting. Generally speaking, you'll see him save up to about 200 minerals and do the 13 gas 12 pull, it looks like. Yeah, that's what he's saving for here. You can definitely see him holding on to the larva. Yep, there we go. So, more than likely, this... Ooh, his opponent doing almost the mirror image. Just a little bit slower. Okay, so both players going to be going for that quick ling speed, as well as some banelings here, it looks like. Now, with both players doing the same strategy, it should work out where both players just kind of stop doing the strategy once they see their opponent is doing the same thing with similar numbers of units. It'll be whoever switches over to drones first and can safely hold on to that drone lead who wins this game. But we can definitely check out these two overlords moving towards each other at rapid dueling tournament style. You know, the horses with the pole and they knock the other guy off. Yeah, that's the overlords. Ah! Okay, nobody died. Alright, so we do have HyuN actually dropping one guy out of this extractor. Same thing from Revival, who's just now replacing it. And now HyuN's replacing it as well. Okay, so both players just getting that ling speed. And then here's the baneling nest coming. Few more lings out of HyuN than Revival right now. Looks like Revival was trying to squeeze out a couple extra drones. This may indeed come to haunt him, in fact. Oh, HyuN intercepting a couple of those lings, bruising them quite badly. But ultimately, looks like Defender's advantage is going to kick in for Revival. And yeah, ooh, those ling timings are so close. There's like 4 seconds difference. It looks like Revival may actually kill off these 4 lings if HyuN does not get them home very, very quickly. At least 1 or 2 of them will die in that 4-second gap. Uh-oh, there's some more lings arriving for HyuN, so Revival will be chased away here, and he may indeed not actually get that in time. Ooh, banelings being morphed on Revival's side of the map. If these banelings can intercept these lings, well, not those two, but the bigger group. Yeah, here we go. This will be huge for HyuN. HyuN definitely trying to get a good position. And Revival with the ling speed, if he's not careful, he will run directly into some of these banelings. Ah, there's banelings of his own. And yes, oh, wow, nice little hit there for HyuN with his banelings. Oh, not such a good one on that. Okay, so now it's a war of the lings. Who can get a better surround and who has more? Looks like HyuN's working with a couple more, but there's a spine crawler building here for Revival, as well as a queen. All he has to do is continue holding on to the positional advantage here. Uh-oh, Revival with a couple more lings. Banelings morphing in Revival's main as well. Oh, wow, these players are doing everything in their power. Only 2 guys on gas here for HyuN. Ditto here for Revival. I guess they're both trying to irk out a couple more drones when and where possible. HyuN right now making one for himself, who's actually sitting on the better economy. Looks like they're on 13 each. So both are committing to this attack. Uh-oh, 2 drones being built for Revival, but he loses a baneling. If he loses 1 baneling to 1 zergling, that is not a good trade there for him. He has to be careful. Okay, Ling's going ahead, trying to intercept that other Ling. The Ling will get away, but that is terribly annoying for Revival. Revival sending 2, too many banelings together at once. 2 banelings will kill 3 banelings, and obviously 2 is more cost-effective than 3. Losing a Baneling there, HyuN will be forced to retreat. He cannot deal with these Banelings until his own will finish morphing. So right now he's just trying to split off individual lings. Careful now. Oh, that was sloppy losing that Baneling there. But it looks like HyuN will get this expansion up a lot quicker than his opponent. Already 3/4 of the way done. So right now he's working towards an economic advantage. He's only trying to buy time with this harassment at this point. He knows it's not going to win him the game. All he has to do is stay safe here. Uh-oh, careful, don't lose anything to those Banelings. Nice little position on that queen. Will go ahead and explode at least one of those Banelings. A little bit of sloppy micro there by Revival, and he's about to lose another Baneling if he does not retreat these lings. Ah, careful. Yeah, real sloppy retreat there from Revival. And HyuN going to take advantage of this, sending lings across the map. He knows his opponent probably doesn't have any lings at home to have morphed Banelings with. And there's 2 Banelings of HyuN's own. He can definitely clear out some of these ling numbers. Oh, getting a kill on this. Oh, barely saving that queen. Very nice save there. Oh, careful! The lings! Ooh, making him waste that Baneling and getting the queen kill. Look at the dirty, exploded body of that queen. That was disgusting. Nice Baneling count here for HyuN. He will do some damage to this hatchery. Uh-oh, Revival looking like he's in a very rough spot, but the Spinecrawler will go ahead and finish. Now it's going to come down to the drone count. Revival, 11 drones up. This is huge. Despite having this quicker natural, he's using it mostly for production to make more lings. Revival, of course, with a much better economy. Ooh, careful, careful. He cannot lose this economy. That's the only advantage he's got. The only one. 9 harvesters up. This is almost game-breaking right now for HyuN. If he does not do damage right now, he's kind of getting further and further behind, and he knows it. That's why he's actually making a Spinecrawler at home. And 6 drones, so he's going to try and get back into the game. Revival, of course, losing that queen and going ahead and dropping the GG. Alright, so that's game number 2. Now we're moving into game number 3 in this series. Definitely some exciting Zerg versus Zerg action. I definitely recommend these 2 players to anyone who's just looking for incredibly insane, incredibly aggressive, incredibly mechanical Zerg macro play. Or, fuck it, in HyuN's case, you don't expect macro. He can do anything. That's really all there is to that. Now, we will be moving right on in to this last and final game. So here on the bottom left-hand side of Cloud Kingdom, we have in the blue trunks, the teamless HyuN. And his opponent to the top right is in the red trunks, playing for Team Evil Geniuses. It is Revival. Revival already at 120, 140, 150 minerals. Looks like he will be dropping the 9 pull. HyuN, his spidey senses are tingling. He's going for a 10 pull. So again, we're seeing mirror builds out of these players. It's like they almost know each other. You would think, maybe, just maybe, they had played for the same team at some point in their long, convoluted history. And you'd be right. So, definitely these players know each other, know each other's styles, know what to expect from the other on a given map. HyuN so far has shown a little bit better knowledge of his opponent, arcing out these last 2 wins. But can he turn it into a 3rd win, or will Revival go ahead and at least take a game out of his opponent? Well, we're here to find out. It's Shaft, bringing to you yet another exciting Zerg vs. Zerg. And here we go. We've got 6 lings on the way for Revival as HyuN's spawning pool finishes up there. He goes ahead. He gets that Overlord out. That allows him to go ahead and pump out a couple of more units. And everything's looking good now for both of these players. It looks like HyuN, despite the 10 pull, has decided to make drones behind it, only really using it to get the queen out a little bit earlier. I kind of like that decision. It's a little wishy-washy, but I think it definitely gives him the ability to stay safe. And in this particular game, he's the economic player. He's 1 drone ahead before making that pull, so he's completely safe. Now he's getting a gas. Oh wow, this is a really interesting build by HyuN at this point. I think he's kind of winging it a little bit now that he's seen his opponent has gone for an early pull and is launching an attack. So now he's getting a gas in preparation just for the eventual return. And by return, I mean the chase home, where he has a ling speed advantage. That will take a while to kick in, but his ling speed will be far and away better than his opponents, or quicker than his opponents, I guess would be a better way to phrase that. Now we do have HyuN getting a expansion. Has he seen the expansion of his opponent? Yeah, so he's... Actually, wrong vision. Yeah, he's definitely seen that. So at this point, both players are just trying to equalize each other's advantage and turn this into a macro game of sorts. Alright, so it looks like ling speed just now started for HyuN. We were discussing that earlier, and he pulls all his guys off gas, so we're not expecting a Baneling follow-up here anytime soon. Patch now finishing for Revival. Looks like HyuN's got a little bit left on his. Still no gas for Revival. You'd think he'd learned the lesson to go ahead and get some map control early on against HyuN, but looks like the lesson has not been learned. Let's see, can HyuN take advantage of this yet again? Looks like he's about halfway done through ling speed, so this isn't going to be any major kind of run by or anything like that. Spine Crawler just going down now. Oh, does not cancel the Spine Crawler. Interesting tactic there. And a very badly bruised Queen, but ultimately it will survive. I will survive! I am a survivor! Okay, enough singing here, Shaft. Alright, ling speed about to kick in. So Banelings are on the way. Nice little round of lings. 8 lings on the way. So we'll see just more and more lings flooding across the map as this Baneling nest finishes. Looks like, again, HyuN going for this kind of macro production. Rather than using this as expansion, it's just more ling production for him as he gets ready for this ling Baneling timing attack. Definitely thinking about stealing this, always doing this heavy ling aggression. I've seen HyuN get away with this game after game after game. There must be something to it for him to keep going back to this. Going ahead, targeting down a queen. That's not going to be too big of a deal as he still has 2 queens, 2 hatcheries, so he won't miss any kind of inject. More and more lings flooding across the map here. Revival actually scouting out for the Banelings. Definitely going to see those on the way. Now, as long as HyuN doesn't lose too many of these to the Spine Crawlers, he's going to be in a really good position. This Bruised Queen is going to be really quite vulnerable to a ling attack. And here we go. HyuN sending more lings right on into this Queen Wall, but the Queen Wall does have Transfuse. Will the Transfuse be able to get him through the lings? No, another one of the queens goes down. That means the other one is doomed to fail. TS Revival dropping the GG. HyuN with an undefeated victory. Wow. Beautiful Zerg vs. Zerg aggression at its finest, guys. Read it and weep. It's the master, the teamless, the Blue Zergy McFerguson. His name is HyuN. Tune back in next time, guys. Thanks for tuning in.